Hello everyone, and welcome to Math 1325, the second 8 weeks. So my name is Terry Barnes and I'll be helping you on this journey. Now the bad news is we have to do this in just 8 weeks, but the good news is in just 8 weeks you will be completely done with it. So let's focus on the good news, stay diligent in your work, and you will be fine. So in this little orientation video, I want to show you where everything is, how I expect you to work it, and just get you started in this. So over here is our announcements. There will be an announcement every week, if not something in between, but at least every week, probably on Sunday, talking about what's coming up for the coming week. So be sure you check your announcements. Over here is the content browser. I've pulled out the things that I think are important for you. And so let's kind of just go through that. Here's the instructor plan, the syllabus. And if we look at this real quick, I'm not going to read all of this, but a few things that I want to mention. You do need a graphing calculator for this. That will be really helpful for you. And I also wanted to note that this course is offered as inclusive access. That means you don't have to purchase the book. The electronic book is included. So that's one thing. Course attendance and participation. You cannot miss more than 25% of the assigned work in an online course. So I will keep you posted. I will let you know when you have absences, and I'll talk about how that works a little bit later on, but be sure you're watching that because you don't want to get dropped for that reason. There's a course outline. We'll talk about that. That's also like the calendar for this course. Grading. So there's homework, tests, and a final exam. Homework, there's a homework assignment for each section. And the due date, honestly, is at the end of the course. So listen carefully. Everything is available day one. It is ultimately due the end of the course. But you must work on things each week to be present. You have to work on something. But if you have a really stressful week and you can only open up a homework and do a few questions, and you've got to focus on other things, or life happens, something, you're still good. If you do something each week, your attendance is fine. Now, if you, in an 8-week course, don't try to stay up with suggested calendar, it might be hard for you. So just use your own judgment on that. Your homework counts 30% of your total average. Your tests count 50% of your final average. And please note, before each test is available, all the homework for that section, for that chapter, has to be finished with at least 70 on each of those items. If not, it will not open. And at the end of this course, if you haven't done something, it will become a 0. Final exam is cumulative. It covers everything, and it will count 20% of your final average. So those are the highlights of that. And I did put down here, in this online course, attendance is based on participation. You must work each week, either on a homework or test. If you do not do that, that counts as an absence. And because this is only 8 weeks, you're allowed 2 such weeks of doing nothing. But if you receive a third one, you could be dropped for attendance issues. So it's easy to avoid that. Just be sure you're working each week. All right, let's go back. All right, calendar. And we kind of saw that a minute ago. So this is the suggested calendar. And so if you're following it, that says maybe in the first week you do 12-1, 2, 3, and 4. In week 2, you finish up 12-5, and you take the chapter 12 exam, then you start 13. Down here, it's slowed down a little bit. So if you don't if you don't follow this exactly, or you don't take the chapter 12 exam in the week 2, it's okay. That won't be penalizing. But this is a suggestion to help you stay on track. So use that. You have complete flexibility, but you also have complete responsibility. So be sure you pay attention to that. All right, here is my schedule and office hours. If you click on that, that's going to tell you when I'm in the office, when I'm in class, and my office hours on Tuesdays are Tuesday and Thursday, 7:30 to 8 a.m. in the morning. And then just on Tuesday, I'm in the office from 1 to 5. If you need something different than that and we need to Zoom, you could request that and we can try to work that out. But I am on campus and in the office on Tuesday afternoons. All right, let's go to the next thing. All right, the next thing in here says problem sets, lecture notes, videos. This is the meat of the course. I have made this for you guys, and it's in lieu of saying, open your book to page 15 and let's look at some stuff. So the first thing is problem sets. And in here, there is a set for each chapter. If we start with chapter 12, here's 12.1. And here is 10 questions, 10 questions. And so if you've had any calculus before, this may look familiar. If not, you're going to learn how to do it. But I would say print this to practice. You're not turning this in. This is not to be graded. This is how we're going to learn. So let's go back to that problem set list. All right, so we looked at that, and you'd have one of those for every section. Then let's go to lecture notes and go to chapter 12 and go to 12.1. And in 12.1, these are notes that I would be putting on the board if you were in class. I would be going over these examples, and then I would get down to the problems that are, this is the problem set. And I don't have it reprinted as a typed document, but it says find the derivative of this function. And then there is the answer. If it takes more work, there's more work. And when we get down here, there's some more stuff going on. Some people could look at just the lecture notes and say, okay, I can figure that out. But if not, and probably most people, there is a video. So let's go look at that. So here is the video playlist, and if I click that, you see that I have a playlist for each chapter, and it is a link to my YouTube channel that I have. I have one for every course. So here's 12.1, and you can see that's a 20-minute video. You can scroll through it, rewind it, whatever you need, but it will be me talking through what I did or do in each of these. And there is a video for every section. If you need it, please watch it. If you feel like you don't, you can do it without. That's fine too. This is a resource for you. All right, so we went through problem sets, lecture notes, and videos. Here is the ebook. So I really think I've pulled out all the problems that I want to show you. But if you want to go in the book, you would just click here and it'll open in another window, and you can go through the book electronically. Handouts, there's some important formulas. Here's formulas for chapter 12. When you get to chapter 13, there is some curve sketching that we will need to do, and it will be part of your test. So there's a form for you to print to actually do that. There'll be an announcement about that, but pay attention, that's where that is. Then when you get to chapter 16, 17, there's some other things. If I find any other formulas that I want to put out there, under handouts is where you would look. Last thing in the content area is final exam review. And when you get ready to review for the final, it is a list of homework problems that you should focus on in prep for the final. So that means when you go back to your homework, not your problem set, but your homework, look at these particular questions to prepare for the final exam. Okay. All right, let's look at one or two last things. Up here is where it says MML homework and test. If we click there, then all of your assigned work is already here because it's all available, remember? And it says it's all due May 6th at 11:59 p.m. So you don't want to wait till that last minute, but you do have that amount of time. When you get to exam chapter 12, there's a flag. Look at that flag when I roll over it. It says you have to score a 70 on all those homeworks. So it's not going to open for you if you have not. It also tells you that you have 120 minutes, 2 hours for that test, and you have 2 tries. If you do really well the first time, you certainly don't have to take it the second time. But if you don't do as well as you want, then you go to Gradebook and review that test, and it'll show you what you answered and what you should have answered. You can then review those questions that you missed and take it again. The higher of the 2 grades is what figures in your average. So you don't have to panic. The first one is kind of like your review. I did want to look at a homework section and point out a couple of things if you've not been in Math Lab. So this has 12 questions in the homework. If we click on number 1, it says find the derivative of the function. That's very much like the question in a problem set. It's very much like it. And so you would click in this box, and note there's nothing down here right now, but if I click in the box to put my answer, now I suddenly have some icons that I need, and you may need this one that has the exponent, you may need a radical, you may need an ordered pair, and then if you hit more, there's all of these. There's infinity, there's a lot of icons, then you don't have to worry about how to type things. So I'm going to put in some gibberish here, and let me close this part, and I'm going to say check my answer, and it says use the sum or difference rule. So it said you didn't get it right, but be sure you use this rule to find the derivative. Okay, and I just leave it like that. Check again. You're going to get the same kind of little hint, and now it says final check, and I click check it, and it says this is the correct answer. This is what you answered. Now, at this point, you can click similar question, and then it's just going to generate a new one. And it counted that wrong, but if you get this right now, then it's going to count it right. So you can keep going back, and you get 3 tries at any one question before it is ready to regenerate. So there's really not a reason not to do well on your homework. It's good practice. Keep doing them. If you get tired of working on it or you have to leave, just hit save and you come back and you pick it up then. So that's how you're going to do that. The last thing that I would say is to, if you need more help, you want to talk to me about a question, please click on this Get More Help. And up here it says Ask My Instructor. If you click that, then it's going to send me an email with this specific question that you're working on, which won't be like other people's 12.1. And you can write in here, I've tried this and this, I can't do it, help me figure this out, whatever you need to say. But that is the best way to get help on a particular question. So please use that when you want to send me something for help. So I'm going to cancel that. So I think that gets you going on those. All right, I think that's a pretty quick overview of the course. I look forward to working with you. Be sure you're doing something every week. And if you need me, please email me, let me know. Use Ask My Instructor if it's a particular question about a problem. And we will get through this next 8 weeks. Take care.